Hey Shalloners, welcome back. Today, we're gonna start our second challenge. Yes, a Shallon challenge. If you're kind of new to the challenges, this is, like I said, our second one. And a challenge is a series that I'm doing in between my regular every Friday videos where we tackle some sort of like deeper seated issues, not just about boys, not just about hooking up and Tinder, but like really trying to make some forward psychological progress. For our first challenge, we focused on letting go of a grudge or a heartbreak, like something negative that we were holding on to. And in a way that was conscious or unconscious, we were using it to sort of define us. It was like our sad song that we were always singing, either to ourselves or to other people, usually both. And we also focused on building positivity and to be generous. So that was our challenge. Let go of something bad and build something good. And that's what I want to focus in on the challenges every single week. I'm definitely open to suggestions. So this week, we're going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety, I feel like, is a word that it's like in the last few years, it's like everywhere. Anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. Every celeb, I have anxiety, anxiety. And it's like, it's also just kind of called being alive. Like I get a lot of questions from you guys about, like I have anxiety, and I can tell the way you write about it and speak about it, there's a ripple of pride there. Once again, it's something negative we are using to define us. Because when we can't find something positive to define ourselves by, something negative will do. I can't tell you how many of you guys come to me with a negative definition for yourself. I'm the daughter of an alcoholic. I'm a divorcee. I'm anxious. I'm a cutter. I'm a this. Okay. Even people come to me and they're like, I'm queer. Obviously it's not negative, but it also isn't all you are. Who are you? You are more than your trauma. You are more than where you put your genitals, right? I think. So let's try to define ourselves by something better. Okay. And how do we do this? It's like, well, I am anxious. Girl, I'm anxious too. A quote I read, it was like in a book. It was like, am I a monster, or is this what it means to be a person? I felt it because I'm like, yes, I am a monster. Is this just life? I'm a very anxious person. I'm a very socially anxious person, which nobody thinks because I'm really outgoing. And I'm like shucking and jiving and talking to everybody at the party and blah, blah, blah. And it's because I'm extroverted that I have this pressure to be like that. And that pressure really gets to me. And I respond well to that pressure. And then it becomes this cycle. Oh, she's good at a party. Let's bring her to the party. This party's boring. Shallon will liven it up. No one's dancing. Get on the dance floor, Shallon. Oh, I don't want to talk to this person. Shallon will. I'm in hell even thinking about those things. I'm in hell. And so my anxiety gets really bad in those situations. And my method is eating, or drinking. It's literally something with my mouth. I have to be doing something with my mouth. If I can't find food or a beverage, I will find a boy. So I've been trying to focus on like ways to combat this, because obviously any one of those three things, food, alcohol, Frenching, not great for you. You can't have that as a vice, whatever your vice is, it's not going to be good. So I've come up with a few little tricks to manage my anxiety and, sort of about different things. Like for me, what I eat, like I eat because I'm bored, because I'm anxious, panicky, whatever term you want to give to anxiety. Because I was always like, what does it even mean? What does it mean? To me, it just means like dread, stuff like that. So I say the word out loud. When someone is talking to me and I don't want to be talking to them, and I like kind of instinctively reach for something in my head, I'm like anxious, 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 anxious. And for some reason, like I feel better even just saying that. It's like the knots kind of loosen, like my nasal cavities up. Like I can just breathe again, because naming something takes its power away. It's like turning on the lights and looking under the bed. There's no monster there. I don't know why. Maybe there is a psychological component to this. If any of you guys are psychologists, I would love to hear how these things play out. I'm just telling you what I have discovered. And typically what I discovered is like pretty normal. I'm not that special, like if it'll work for me, it'll work for you. And if I'm at home and I'm just like fussing around and Like, I know, I'll eat something. I literally say out loud, bored, 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 bored. And it takes away that craving. It takes away that anxiety. I've given a name to something, and when you name it, you take away its power. Monsters live in the dark, and these feelings don't get to live in the dark anymore. We're shining a light on things. So look at situations where if you can't pinpoint when you're anxious, look at when you're doing something that has a destructive impact on your life, like drinking. If you can't be at the bar without chugging your vodka soda and getting another and getting another and getting another, maybe you don't want to be at that bar. Why? Is it too loud? Are you just like sensory overload? Is it you don't like being dressed up? Do you not like making small talk? Like, get to the root of it. If you find yourself shopping, if that's having a really bad impact on your life, why do you shop? Like, one of you guys messaged me one time and you're like, I swear to God, like I'm having a bad day and it's like I black out and I come to and I'm at the mall and I bought all this stuff. I'm like, I get it. I do that when I eat, you know? But it's like, where did this pie go? I don't know, you know? But it's a crutch. It's like, so we have to look at not the shopping, not the blacking out, but what came before that? What was the feeling that came before that? Another part of anxiety that I find is really bad is trying to sleep. I'm a bad sleeper. I don't know what kind of environment I was in as a baby. I think I was in like a hyperbaric chamber because I had to sleep in pitch blackness, zero sound. I have like earplugs, eye things. I have to be on the most comfortable mattress known to man. It's like I was just suspended in water in like the depths of outer space as an infant. I'm so not resilient. And somebody said, I read this on the internet the other day, that people have trouble finding sleep because to sleep requires peace. And that like really resonated with me because it's like, I can't sleep. Ah! And so much of the time, the moments that we lay down when we're trying to fall asleep, that is the only time during the day when our mind gets to just unfurl itself. When thoughts come in, that is when I'm at my absolute most creative, to the point I have a notepad by my bed so I can write things down. Like, I get great ideas because it's the only time I have paused all day and just centered and just focused purely on my thoughts. I'm focusing on my thoughts because I'm trying to manipulate them into falling asleep. That is also the time when I go into a spiral. I live a complicated life. I have a lot of stressors, as I'm sure you guys do. Everyone does. And that's, I said, like, we've all got our sad song to sing. Don't define yourself by your maladies because it doesn't really mean that much to anybody else. We're all going through something, But that should make us feel so much less alone. We're not toiling in this world by ourselves. We're all sisters and brothers in this common struggle. So let's not think we're so special. We're special for positive reasons, not negative ones. But the spirals. I'm like looking for a job right now, and it's like they say in New York City, you're either looking for a man, an apartment, or a job. And it is so true. And like, no one can decide which is the more stressful one, So when like I go into a spiral, it's like a very, very deep, long, big one that is not just like logistical, like, well, what's my job going to be? It's what's my identity going to be? What's my future going to be? So there's a lot of components. And I know you guys are wrestling with stuff like that if you're thinking about what college to go to, what job to get. There's a million things. So here are my tips. The first one is to name your monster. Bored, bored, bored. Anxious, anxious, anxious. I don't want to be here. Maybe don't say these things, but when you become aware of it, you won't have to say it out loud like a big freak, You'll just be like, I'm bored. I don't need to eat that. I need to go for a walk. I need to call my friend. I'm anxious. I don't want to be talking to this person. I'm just going to take a breath in and out and realize that, you know what? Going getting a cookie, it's not really going to help. It's going to make me feel worse. So I'm just going to nod and smile and excuse myself. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, this is what I want us to try to do. Oh, you know what I'm going to say? Meditate. I know. I'm terrified of meditating. I'm terrified of it. My hell is being alone with my own thoughts. And that's because I feel like all of my thoughts lead to a spiral. I'm going to touch on that in a second. So I've been reading a little bit about meditation. I think we should all download an app. There's Headspace. There's Mindful, I think, is another one. There is also a ton of free meditation videos on YouTube, meditation podcasts. Like, money should not be a barrier to this, okay? We can all do this. We can. And really, we have to. I mean, we have to. I can't live like this anymore. I know that you guys can't. It's like if I was doing this video on fitness, that's coming. Not this video, don't worry. You have some time. Go eat that pie. But like, I wouldn't be like, but don't work out. Let's just keep talking about how fat we feel. We'll be fine, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll work out fine. We got to take some positive steps. And that's what a challenge is about. So I want us to aim for 5 minutes a day. That's it. 5 minutes a day. We're not going to be like these yogis who are going into enlightenment and, we can levitate and all this stuff. Because if we set the bar too high for things that are scary and new, we burn out and then we don't want to do them ever again. Okay. So let's start small. Do the little meditations. A lot of them are like 5 minutes. You can do them in the car. You can do them on the train. You can do them before bed. Find the time that works for you and really, really latch onto that. I've also been reading like about meditation, and one thing transcendental meditation does is it uses kind of like a trigger word, and each person gets like their own trigger word. And it's supposed to be a word that is neutral to mildly positive. Like the example was like, don't use your dog's name, because even though you love your dog and it's positive, it also kicks off a ton of other thoughts. Oh my God, I got to walk Waffles. Dude, I booked the babysitter. He needs his flea and tick medicine. Blah, blah, blah. Was he going to chase that cat again? It's like, it's a gateway. And you want something that is not a gateway, that's an island. And I'll tell you mine. Charcuterie. Yes, a meat and cheese board that you order at a fancy wine bar. I love charcuterie. I love meat and cheese boards. They have only positive associations with me. I eat them when I'm with my friends, when I'm doing something fancy, when I'm eating healthy because I'm keto. So it's like I can eat everything on that board without feeling guilty. And so when I even feel better just saying it once or twice out loud. So this is now my sort of trigger word, my positive trigger word, that when I can't sleep and when I need to calm down, I say charcuterie. It's also a word you can like reasonably say out loud in a social situation. It's not completely bizarre. So when I'm laying in bed, I like it because it has a lot of syllable. Charcuterie. It's like kind of a sing-song word. Meats and cheese. Cheese and meats. I am full of inner peace right now. I feel so good. And it puts me to sleep almost immediately. Meats and cheese. So I encourage you guys to come up with your own charcuterie, or you can use charcuterie. That's fine if you think it's neutral enough. Another good suggestion was balloons. People have a positive association with balloons, but not so, very few people have like a big emotional attachment to a balloon, If you do, bypass that. Tulip is also nice. Notice these words are sort of like tonally the same. Tulip, balloon, charcuterie. They're like, ooh, like a little Disney princess sound. And the third, this is the big challenge portion. So we're going to name our monster, right? We're going to meditate. We're going to come up with our own charcuterie trigger word. I'm giving you guys a lot of homework. And then this is the big push. This is the big push. I want us to practice positive spirals. I had this idea the other day sitting at a stoplight as I was in a spiral, as I so often am, careening off the cliffs of insanity. And I was like, what if all my spirals were positive? Can you imagine that? And then I was like, sorry, you're saying something? I was like, whoa, imagine that. Imagine if every spiral I went into was for good and not evil and self-destruction. And I sat there and I tried to do it. And it was really, really hard. It felt almost impossible. It felt like I was trying to recite the alphabet backwards, where your brain just like, this isn't natural. And I was really shocked at how naturally and easily being negative came to me. It was just a hop, skip, and a jump from like, someone said this to me, boom, I'm homeless. It was like instantaneous. My whole family's dead. The world's ending. There are no more polar bears. So I challenged myself to do a positive spiral. And one thing I was like spiraling about was the trip I recently took to the Cayman Islands. And I was like, I feel fat right now. Like I didn't want to be in a swimsuit. And I'm like, everyone on this trip is going to be so beautiful and so thin. And I'm just going to look like this big fat piggy up on her hind legs. I'm gonna have a miserable time and I'm gonna waste this wonderful trip and I'm gonna hate this festival and I'm gonna feel so old. Everyone's gonna be looking at me like, what's she doing here? She's old. Meh, this old fat piggy in a paisley dress. I mean, it was instant. So I was like, all right, let's try to positively spiral this. I'm gonna go on this trip. I'm actually gonna feel great in what I'm wearing. I feel so cute. I'm gonna get so many compliments on everything I'm wearing. I'm gonna love everyone else on this trip. It was a press trip, so I didn't know everybody. The weather's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna have a great time at this festival. In fact, I'm gonna feel like one of the cooler people there, not one of the lamer people there. People are gonna be like, wow, tell me about this band. You're gonna dance, you're gonna make brand new friends at the festival because everyone there is gonna be in a really good mood too. And let me tell you, developing that positive spiral was, my mind kicking and screaming the whole way. Did not want to do it. Really was comfortable in the negative groove. But I kept repeating that same positive spiral to myself leading up. And whenever I felt myself being like, I purposely put the brakes on it and steered that mental car into the positive lane. And it became easier and easier and easier. It was a habit. I was like, okay, then I think about this, and then I think about my outfits, and then I think about the people, and being cool at the festival, and liking the music, and making new friends. Like, it became a chain that I had memorized. And do you know what happened? Every single one of those positive things came true. I had an awesome time. I really did feel like one of the cooler people at that festival. Everyone was like older. No, I thought everyone was going to be like 18. I was going to be like somebody's mom and just feel like a complete loser. No, everyone was like 45. So I'm like, wow, I'm like way younger. And I did meet friends there. Like, girls can be mean, but I met like really adorable groups of girlfriends and we hung out all weekend. I love the other people on my trip. So I was like, this thing. I know you guys have asked me in the past to do videos about manifestation. And manifestation, it's like, oh, do a video on how to be a Catholic. It's like, it's a lot, you know? And so this is sort of step number one. I really encourage you guys to explore manifestation on your own. Read The Secret. Actually, if you can get it on audiobook, it's way better because all the contributors like say their own part. And it's just, I think the message sinks in so much better when it's like, you can hear Lisa Nichols being like, I know that it's on its way. And you're like, oh, yes. You know, and it sinks in, the accents help and everything. But no matter how you ingest that message, it will make a huge impact. Also watch the movie. It's old. It's a documentary called What the Bleep Do We Know? And it's basically about this. It's about creative visualization and manifestation and how it can literally like impact worlds and physics. It's wild. And it is where all of this started for me. So manifestation to me is focusing on the positive, you know, and whatever name we want to give to all this. Faithfulness, like faith in God, faith in the universe, manifestation, lowering your anxiety, meditation, it all exists in the same realm. It's all under the same umbrella. It's the same thing. So no matter what angle you want to come at it from, you will get something out of it. So just to recap, our challenge this week, name our demons. Bored, anxious, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, get to the root of it. And if you guys don't know, put this shit in the comment section. That's what we're here to do, to build that challenge community and help each other. Because we all know, like, what therapy is you go and you tell your problems to someone neutral and they can see connections and patterns that you can't. You're too close. Ask the Shallon entourage for help. We are all here for each other. So name your demons. Come up with your charcuterie word. Meditate 5 minutes a day, just 5. And practice positive spirals. That, if you do nothing else, I really, really, really want you to do that because I really think that's going to kick off a lot of other things. And it's not going to be easy at first, but it's like anything else. It's like playing the piano, roller skating, giving blowjobs. You got to practice to be good at it, right? And check back in a week. I will do a challenge update where I tell you guys my progress. I hear about your progress. I address some things we've talked about in the comment section. And, you know, like keep us all accountable until the next challenge because our challenges are 2 weeks long. If you guys want to talk privately about stuff like this, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO. And also follow me on social at ShallonXO, Insta, Twitter, and Snapchat. And click like and subscribe for new videos, deep dives on major subjects every Friday.